Welcome back to Blueprint to a Phenomenal Great Marriage. And we got some great questions from y'all. And today it's about hard conversations.
Mhm.
How do we have hard conversations and when to have hard conversations? And do we have a hard
Yeah, like
conversations?
why? Why? What makes it hard and why?
And we have to remember the whole, and Holly says this all the time, it's so powerful, is iron sharpens iron is what the Bible says.
Mhm.
And we are meant to sometimes there's a clash that
Mhm.
happens. And in that we could become sharper, we become better. And you find that marriage is ultimately making both of us better in life. And so there are times when somebody in the marriage is doing something that we're like, hey, that's not good. And it's important, and I want to start out with this because not everything that your spouse does needs to have a conversation.
Okay, and I wanted to just and I don't want to interrupt you because I know I don't want to
Yeah, well, now we're gonna have a conversation about that.
I don't want to like interrupt your mind your where you're headed with your conversation. But I, on the lines of that is also asking ourselves this hard conversation, does the outcome serve me, the person bringing it up?
Yeah,
So I guess what I'm saying is on the question of when to have the hard conversation, I think it's important to ask, does what the person is doing hinder their success outside, like at work with, like is it a hindrance? Is it something that's going to take them out of the game, take them whatever, or is it just something that annoys me? I think that that's um a big thing, because if it just annoys me, it might be a me thing to have to
that's
like
really
deal
good.
with. And
Right,
that's where I hear you saying not every annoying hard has to be a hard conversation
right.
with the other person. It might need to be a hard conversation with yourself and with God, and say, help me get okay with this. Now, if it's affecting intimacy, if it's affecting
The marriage.
the marriage, if it's affecting, right, if it's affecting the relationship and it's not a habit that, is it I just guess that there's deal breakers, and then there's those things where we're just being like, it bugs me.
Yeah, yeah, we're just
Mhm,
getting bugged by things, and I think that in marriage, you major on the big things,
mhm,
and you just minor on the little things. And I watched my parents been married 57 years now, I think, and there were so many times like my mom, there'd be something with my dad, and she would just pray and pray, and she would go on a fast sometimes, and then all of a sudden one day he's like, "Hey, I do this," and my mom goes, "Yeah, you do." He's like, "Well, I want to get over that." And that was kind of their solution on a lot of things that were not major things.
mhm.
And sometimes in life, it is to look at it and go, "Can I love her in the midst of that area of her life?" And also another story, a cool story of my dad, is when they were engaged to be married. My mom lived with her girlfriends up above. My dad lived down below, and my dad would go up because my dad's a very clean freak. He grew up in
Mhm,
the cleanest house. My
mm,
mom didn't grow up in a clean house. So my dad would go up and clean their apartment oftentimes because it would just drive him nuts. And one day he went up there and he said it was just destroyed.
mhm.
And it was a week before the wedding, and he just packed his stuff up and he went home. He's like, "No, I can't do this." And about a day in, he started really missing my mom. And so
Yeah.
he asked himself this. He goes, "Can I live with that for the rest of my life?" And he goes, "I can."
In lieu of all the amazing she
Right,
brings to the
she has so
relationship.
many great things.
Correct.
He goes, "I can't change that about her,
Correct.
and so I live with that?" And he goes, I can live with that."
Right.
And my mom over the time became a clean person. So, I think sometimes you have kids and things change in those things. We lived in a very kinda clean house, maybe because of my dad, but, I think there's a power in that, that a great marriage isn't two perfect people, it's two people loving each other in their
Well, it's
imperfections.
also not two sane people.
Right.
So, like, I remember someone saying, we're just really incompatible, and I understand compatible. It's like like kind of like two pieces of a puzzle, they click or whatever. But is that reality though? Like, I'm like,
No.
we're not compatible. Okay, but what makes you not compatible? Like, are there things that you could shift in your thinking, in your need, that could make you more compatible than what you feel you are in the moment? And if you can, is it something that you adjust, or that you want to force on the other person to have to adjust? And I do think, now, I do think that, it gets to be a little bit bigger, and maybe there needs to be a hard conversation if it affects intimacy, or if it's something that is a need in that area. And I think that how do you have that hard
Right.
conversation? And I think that number one, I think you have a hard conversation and you own that you're the one bringing it up. You own that you're the one that's feeling a certain way, that maybe you're perceiving it wrong and you're bringing it up to get
Some clarification.
correct. And I think in the midst of that very kind conversation, you can say, here's the thing. If you find out that, yes, positively, this person and it needs to shift or change, I think there's a way of saying, okay, well, is there a way that we can tweak or compromise or do something different? Um, so that I'm enjoying the relationship or I'm enjoying whatever it is that is the problem, eradicating it, essentially. But I do think that it's wildly important that if we're the one feeling it, we're the one bugged by it. I think we have to take accountability and say, hey, I can't let this go any longer. It's affecting such and such. Um, I could be completely off base. And maybe it's something I need to get on the other side. Just owning it, and I also think that there's been times where I'm like, look, I want to bring something up.
Mhm.
It's gonna have it has the potential to make you feel attacked, and
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. It's not my heart.
Right.
But I cannot get on the other side of this.
Right.
And if anything,
That disarms me, though.
well, yeah, and then I think it invites you into a
Now, if you
partnership
bring it
to
up
help.
if you bring it up in the middle of a fight,
Right.
then that's not gonna turn
Well,
out
no, no,
well
no.
for
That's
anybody.
like clearly an attack. Now it's a weapon,
And you
right?
said this before we even got on the show, it's about timing.
Oh, 100% about timing. You can't say it in the midst of like already being infuriated with each other or already
No,
being
I
like,
never I'll
daggers over here. But I do think that there is power in asking of your spouse for a partnership to overcome it.
right,
Like, maybe it's something you're like, well, I don't even know how I would go about that, or, in changing whatever it is I'm like frustrated with and vice versa.
right,
But maybe the partnership has I mean two heads are better than one. I mean the
right,
world says that, right?
right.
Like two heads are better than one. And so maybe it's just simply saying, hey, and how about this? Like, I think sometimes we fret over having a conversation and then you finally sweat it out, have the conversation, and the other person has no knowledge that they do something or that they have something. Or I remember, I remember one time somebody saying that their spouse had really bad breath, and they were like, I just don't want to like make them feel bad because it's hard. And but I said, okay, but it affects everything about like, right, like, how do you say hey?
You smell, which you have no troubles. You said that this morning. Your breath is horrible.
I didn't
So
say
that's how you exactly what you said.
didn't say
You had
it like
100% what you
that.
said
Oh, and what
while
was
you were
I?
doing my hair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
And
have my own hairdresser. I don't know why. I love
and maybe
it.
that is why I felt the freedom to just go, hey, by the no, and actually I didn't say it like that. Your breath is horrible. I actually said it. This is a good one for like what you want to say to him because it was going to hinder every relationship. Everybody you talk to today, they're going to be like, oh, wow.
Yes.
He blew me away with his foul breath. And
Yes.
so I was like, hey, by the way, you have really bad breath right now.
Yeah. And she said, "Get some
Cilantro. It's
cilantro,"
exactly what I said. Hey, it's good to know
which
you
is
heard me.
which is good.
Anyway, but that seems very petty, right? And I could,
Which I'm just gonna chew on this leaf right here while you're talking.
and I could sneak some cilantro into your meals, or on a very
Sure.
unattacky moment, I could say to you, "Hey, honey,
Hey, smelly.
I'm wondering if your stomach is upset. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if like you've got a tooth that needs to be looked at because lately
Yeah.
you've had, that's obviously not your perception, it's a fact, right? Like I mean bad breath, like when it's foul or not. So,
Oh my
but
gosh.
there's a way of
So
saying things.
so number one, and I would say most of the time, it's something that you love them through. I
Mhm.
think most of the things in life, you shake it off, you let
Mhm.
it go, and you did that on the toilet seat. That's a great story
Mhm.
of like just I wouldn't put it down, and then you just decided just to love me in it. It's
Well,
not a
all
big deal.
5 men in the
All five
house
men,
wouldn't put it
and
down.
then I changed. And you've done that many times of just loving me in the middle of my things and seeing the good in me,
Mhm.
and going, you know
Oh,
what,
vice
he's
versa.
gonna leave his. When he seasons, it's going to be all over the kitchen, and I'm trying to be better.
Mhm.
I still don't hit the bar like that, and you just love me in that. And
Mhm.
those are the all the little things in marriage. There's normal things. Your spouse is going to have normal things, but there are big things. And maybe you're not happy in the marriage, and maybe that's where you have the conversation and say, "Hey, we need to get some counseling." Maybe you're not feeling like you're number one in the marriage, and you're not spending. He's spending more time on the golf course than he is with you, and these are big important things
Well,
that,
I think sex life, I think,
yeah. And
your
he's like,
intimate,
hey, we're not
you
having
know.
enough,
Well, but
time.
for a girl, for a woman, like, there's no shame and no harm in knowing when you need to have a counselor, when you need to go to somebody that can help you enjoy intimacy
Mhm.
or give suggestions on what that looks
And we
like
could do a
or
reel on
how.
that. That would be a fun one.
I, I
Put
didn't
it
know
in
if
the
you're
put
serious
it
right
down in
now.
there if you want to.
No, I don't even know what you're saying right now.
We talk about intimacy. We can talk about sex. We could talk about I mean, we're having the best I've ever had in my life at 57 years old. So
Okay.
it would be a great subject, I think, for them to hear about. But so timing is everything. Don't bring it up in a fight.
Right.
Um,
Own it for yourself.
and
Right.
own it for yourself. And then when you do bring it up in love.
Hmm.
Hey, this is how, and use a lot of like, this is how it makes me feel.
Hmm.
And try not to attack with your
And
words.
partner with one another for the
So I
solution.
just I feel like we don't have, you know, we know we're supposed to have a date night once a week, and I feel like you're not driving that.
Hmm.
And it just makes me feel
Well,
like
I
we're
think
not growing together as a couple, and that's important to me. So you kind of having the empathy in that I want this thing to be stronger. I want this to be better.
Well, I
And
think some of the hard conversations, like, and I don't know, because we're talking about this based on feedback, right? And
right.
based on viewers have asked for it. So, what I guess I would say, some of the hard conversations would, maybe like,
He's talking to a coworker.
my wife has
A
gained
fe, a fe,
weight and doesn't seem to want to get rid of it. I mean, that's a hard one. Like, how do
you
you,
don't.
I mean,
I just you did have a season where after a child, you were a little.
what are you talking about? I looked back and I was like, why did you not say something? Like, I literally was like, oh my gosh.
You. I don't know. I mean, part of it is that there was a season when I was big boy. I was 50 pounds heavier. And I was actually annoyed too. Like when we were playing, hey, find Big Dad in the pictures a few weeks ago. I was like, why didn't anybody tell me? And you just love each other in the
I'll
middle of
tell you
those
why,
things.
because you're that guy that's always like, what do you mean?
I know.
Like, what do you mean? I'm my weight. I'm the same weight I was in high school.
I
And I'm
did.
over there thinking, I dated you shortly after high school. And I
I'm two of
think
Scotty's.
that's
I was double
false.
Scotty.
But
I have
here's
such high confidence.
But here's what I think too. I think in those kind of situations, but that is a hard conversation and that does matter. I think we
I
should
think that's a
both,
prey.
but here's the thing. I think both of us should aspire. I heard a godly woman say one time, you should work very hard to keep obviously, she didn't mean literally because like age and, life and whatever. But she said, you should work very hard to maintain the you that the person fell in love with.
Right.
Like, obviously, we're gonna go through changes. We're gonna change our hair color, change the hair length. He doesn't like that I have shorter hair, but he likes my hair long.
You're beautiful.
Um,
I love your
but
hair. I love everything
but I
about.
think that but I guess what I'm saying is but it's still a hard conversation to have. I like that you were like, love them through it. But, if you're going year in and year out and you're not and you don't see the spouse trying to make physical changes or eat
But you
different
know
or
what you
nutritional
did?
changes.
Here's what you do. I'll talk to the cat. This is what you did. She's so sneaky. She's been very great at all these things without even a conversation. She's just like, hey, we should eat healthy, and she kind of gets, hey, we should get rid of sugar. We should get rid of these things, and we should actually, hey, you should come down to the gym, right? You should go play pickleball. Like it was just like,
Well, do it with me. But then also, I think one of the things
let's
that
go
you
on
but
walks.
one of the things that you did is you affirmed how I looked. And I think people that scares people. It's like, well, I don't want to affirm them right now because I don't like what's going on right now. But what you don't realize is the whole speak what you want, not what you have.
And
And that's powerful.
when you
So
feel beautiful, you become beautiful.
correct, correct. And so you may be if this is one of the hard conversations that somebody is like talking about, your person is probably feeling defeated. They're feeling frustrated. They're feeling uh upset with themselves. And no amount of coming into agreement with it is going to help them. What they need to know is what you do see in them that has great value beyond what they're looking at with the physical eye. And so I definitely think that the power of our words is powerful or that it has power. Say what you want. And so find something in them. Be like, man, I love when you wear that dress, or I love when you you know, do your hair like that. Or just you look really handsome today.
And she always did.
I'm so
And
in
so we
love with
never had
you.
that conversation, either one of it. We just loved
Mm-mm.
each other and we both got healthier. I mean, it
Mhm.
just, I don't know if that's a conversation. I think that's just a love.
Mhm.
I really do. But I mean, whatever you all are feeling out there, I
Mhm.
think that we loved each other through some moments and times. And here's a reality: we usually know what's wrong with ourselves, and so
That's
I'm
right.
I'm talking about when I talk about have a hard conversation, like he's down at the bars and talking to women, like he's talking
Mhm.
to a female coworker.
I am
He
talking
really,
about something. I do think a hard conversation is when one is not enjoying the intimate side of their
yes,
marriage. I think that that
I
is something
agree.
that you do have to attack. You
Right,
do. And I'm going to be honest, you don't do it alone. I mean, because there's not anything you can I mean, if communicate, oh man, communication is key when it comes to intimacy.
right,
What do you both enjoy? And that's super important.
right. And I think that's
And
that'll be
it's a hard conversation.
it is a hard
Mhm.
conversation, right?
It can be. It can
Right.
be.
And I think that'll be good. So, do you need to have it? Most of the time, not. Uh,
How do you need it?
Timing,
Mhm.
and then how you do it, and do it in love,
Correct.
and really go after those things that are detrimental to your marriage.
Mhm.
If it really is detrimental to your marriage, then that's the conversation. And counseling.
Mhm.
Counseling is great. Marriage seminars. What you're
Absolutely.
doing right now,
It
watching
says you
Blueprint of
care.
Marriage,
It says you care.
right?
Mhm.
And some people just send reels. I counseled a couple. He's like, my wife just sends me reels all day long. I hate it.
Aw.
It's always reels about him.
Aw. It's not always just one person.
There's not always
There's
just
2
one
sides
person
to
anyway.
every situation.
So next time, maybe we'll talk on sex. We'll have to figure out if that's what we're gonna do. But either we'll have a hard conversation to find out what we're gonna talk
That's
about.
a hard
Anyway,
one to talk
we
about
so enjoyed
in
you.
front of a
Remember,
camera.
keep working on it. And I'm telling you, a marriage that you work becomes a great marriage.